Once a man was standing on the roof of his house. King Akbar's procession was passing by, and he started hurling absurd abuses at Akbar. King Akbar was very surprised and had the man arrested and thrown in jail. The next morning, he was summoned to court, and Akbar said, "What was wrong with you? Why did you abuse me? Don't you know how to behave with the emperor?" The man said, "I never used any abuses." Akbar said, "This is too much. I was present myself. There's no need for any witness." The man said, "I'm not saying that you weren't present. You must have been present, but I wasn't. I was drunk and don't remember what I did." In anger, you are also in a similar unconscious state. Go and ask a chemist. Ask a doctor what happens in anger. In your blood, from within you, poisonous glands release toxins. Your entire blood becomes poisoned. In that poisoned state, whether you drank the poison from outside or it came from within, what difference does it make? Then whatever you do, you are not in your senses. Many times, people have committed murders, and they weren't in their senses when they did it. It became a state of madness. Anger is something that can completely disrupt a person's life, unless they learn to control it. People search for various ways to free themselves from its grip. Some, like you, watch videos on YouTube about this topic, just as you're doing now. Others seek blessings from priests, spiritual leaders, or religious figures. But no one really tries to understand what anger truly is. Without understanding it, finding freedom from anger is impossible. Anger is not something so simple that you can be freed from with just a mere blessing. It runs deep, buried within your very roots. Anger isn't something imposed from above. It's not like clothing you can put on or take off at will. No, anger is woven into your being, and trying to remove it is like peeling off your own skin. Painful, excruciating, with suffering and bloodshed. If you've lived your entire life in anger, if you've let it consume you, it will have seeped into every fiber of your existence. But the solution to free yourself from anger isn't about renouncing it. How could you possibly renounce it? It's not something you can just walk away from. This is you. You have become one with your anger. It has seeped into every fiber of your being. To be free, you have to become aware. Don't make anger the foundation of your life and thoughts. Don't get lost in it. When you become more aware, you will start to see the anger. Anger thrives in our unconsciousness. It's a part of our unawareness, and you only realize it after the damage has been done, after the storm has passed. You've already hurt your spouse, broken things, gotten into fights. You find yourself in handcuffs, on your way to court, and then it hits you. It's happened again. But as your awareness grows, you'll start to realize it earlier, not so late, when the anger has already taken control. When anger is present, when your fists are clenched, your teeth grinding, and your jaws are tight with rage, in that moment, you will start to realize that anger is happening. And then, as your awareness deepens even further, you will sense that anger is about to come. Just like clouds gather in the sky before the rain, you will feel anger approaching. When your awareness becomes so sharp that you can see the storm forming before it arrives, that is when you will finally be free from anger. Until this happens, you cannot be free. Before this, no matter how many oaths you swear, how many promises you make, or blessings you seek, none of these will work. Excuses, just excuses. Without awareness, you will remain exactly as you are. Take responsibility for your own anger, own it, and heal it before it spirals out of control. And whatever you do, don't make the mistake of trying to simply renounce your anger. Anger can't be given up. If anger is truly known, it is slowly absorbed and transformed. Anger should not be suppressed. it should be understood. Anger is a scattered state of your mind. In anger, you become insane for a moment. It is a temporary madness. How will you renounce this madness? It arises from within you. And when it arises, where are you? Then you become like that drunken person who has the audacity to insult the king. I will tell you a short story. While serving the guests at a feast, the village barber Choti heard that during this year's pilgrimage, the Thakur had given up his anger, and he was greatly surprised. With great humility, Choti went to the proud Thakur, who was sitting surrounded by friends and companions, and said, "Master, what did you give up during this year's pilgrimage?" The Thakur replied, "Anger, Choti. I have now renounced anger for life," he said in a gentle and calm voice. "Blessed are you, the pilgrimage of the 4 dams, the feast of 4 villages, and the renunciation of anger. You are truly a great saint, Master." Saying this, Choti returned to his work. After a little while, he came back and informed Thakur about the arrangements for the feast. With great humility, he asked, "This time, what have you renounced at the pilgrimage, sir?" Thakur looked directly at Choti and replied in a steady voice, "Anger. I have renounced anger." "Wow, what a great sacrifice you have made, Master. You are blessed." And then he went towards the feast site. After a few moments, Choti returned, making small talk, and said softly, "Master, what have you renounced in this pilgrimage?" Thakur replied, "I just told you that I have renounced anger. Blessed are you, blessed are you." After a little while, Choti came back and quietly began to massage Thakur's feet. Then, getting up and touching his feet, he asked, "Master, what sacrifice have you made during your pilgrimage?" When Thakur heard the barber's question, his eyes turned red and his brows furrowed. In a stern voice, he said, "I told you 10 times already that I have renounced anger." "What, sir? You have renounced anger? That is a very significant accomplishment. You are blessed." With a smile on his lips, Choti went away. This time, he returned a bit later. Thakur was engaged in conversation with his friends. While offering water to Thakur in a silver glass, Choti said, "Here, sir." As soon as Thakur heard Choti's voice, his gaze locked onto Choti's forehead. Startled, Choti took a step back. Thakur picked up his shoe, and Choti started running. Ahead ran Choti the barber, holding the glass of water, and behind him, Thakur chased him with the shoe in hand. "Scoundrel, rascal, fool! We've told that worthless brat 50 times that we've renounced anger, yet still, that rascal..." Anger is not something that can be given up. It is something to be understood. Let go. Don't get caught up in such a mess. Observe your anger. Become aware of your anger. Recognize it, and dig out its widespread roots. Don't decide beforehand that anger is bad. If you've already made that decision, then you won't be able to understand it. When you've made a decision, there's no room for understanding. To truly understand, the mind must be free of judgments. Forget that the scriptures say anger is the enemy. You haven't understood it yet, and until you do, all those scriptures are worth nothing. Forget that anger is poison. You haven't recognized that yet. Only when you truly recognize this does it hold any meaning. Otherwise, it's all nonsense. Blind practice is nothing but rubbish. Leave all judgments and conclusions about what anger is. Just listen to the experience. Let the conclusions remain aside. When anger arises within you, observe it as one would observe clouds rising in the sky. Watch the shifting clouds, neither good nor bad, neither for nor against. Just recognize what it is. What is anger truly? Slowly, slowly. When anger arises, your eyes will begin to open. Gradually, before anger comes, you will start to sense its faint stirrings. Your awareness will grow And ultimately, even those faint stirrings will disappear. Someone else may create a situation, insult you, or abuse you, but as soon as they do, you will recognize that the situation is present. If I become unconscious, then there will be anger. If I stay alert, if this flame of awareness continues to burn, then there will be no anger. In awareness, anger disappears, just as darkness cannot exist in light. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, be sure to subscribe for more life-changing content and share it with someone who might need it. Let's all take this journey to a calmer, more peaceful life together. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you manage your anger? Let's grow and learn from each other.